Hi, guys. Here's hoping that the internet works for us today. Coming on just a few minutes early in case we have to chase the net. I might just go to the model of just going live, you guys, which just means it's best if you subscribe and hit the bell button so that you know when I'm live. But if somebody's out there watching right now, can you give me a "we can hear you" comment? Just so I know I'm not talking to the ethers, because sometimes I do. Yay, thanks, Kelly. All right, let's see here. We are using the Yantra deck as usual to get our weekly forecast, and then we'll do our personal readings with the Alice in Wonderland deck. Okay, this deck is good for when we're trying to find out where we are in kind of our wake up journey. And we are, because it's new moon today, eclipse, equinox, Eve, all the things. So we got lots of stuff going on, you guys. And I have been building a membership site called Energy on Purpose, which is my attempt to get you guys prepared for these times by having access to multiple ways to work with energy throughout the month. It's on my website if you're interested in checking it out. There'll be a reading for the month, which I've already done October. I'll tell you, there's a communication thing for October. Reading for the month, some meditations based on what the reading was, a little blog about some tips for that light council transmission, and a study guide if I can get the study guide together. All right, using Kuan Yin for this is mercy and compassion for today. And then I've also pulled off the shelf some seraphonite, this is good stuff to stick around when you're feeling like you're having genetic health issues or like it runs in the family. This little stone is really good to help remind you that your ancestors in your family did not determine your health, and you are the healthiest version of your genetics yet. Okay, let's get going. All right, let's see what we have going on here. For the week, we're going to look into, interesting. We get a little guidance, a little push from the universe, a little protection, a little bit of like, go ahead, go this direction. That's a nice card to start the week off with, you guys. Little grace. Little helper card is courage upside down. Okay, so what this is basically saying is what's going to help us this week is for us to see what's scaring us about our own belief systems, about our own thought processes. This card is basically saying when it's right side up, it's courage. Be brave enough to face your limitations. But this card is also talking to us about the fact that it would be good to chase our fears down a little bit. In the belief coaching club that I do, we talk a lot about following all the way through. So then what? Then what? Then what? So like if you say, "Oh, I'm not feeling very well." Well, then what? Well, then I'm not going to be able to work. Well, then what? Well, then I'm not going to be able to pay my bills. Whatever it is, right? That's what this card is encouraging. End of the week, generosity is sideways. Okay, so what this is basically saying is you've given a lot. You've given a lot of energy, a lot of things, and now it's time to kind of pause the give and to give to yourself and take care of yourself. Okay, so that is good news for me because this is going to be a big week for me for sure. So, all right, you guys, let's get started on them. So if you're watching later, thanks for watching later. And hi, here's your first card. If you're watching live, this is your first card too. Okay. And then if you're watching live and you haven't joined me before, I'm Leanne Holitza and I'm giving you an oracle reading for the week. And you just have to type "me please" in the comments in order to get a card. Okay. Get to as many people as I can. I'm just going down the list. So we'll go from there. All right. So here we go, you guys. 1, 2, 3. Feel into your heart which card is for you today. If you picked 1, it says follow your own good advice. Okay, so trust yourself, know what's best for you. Now you can see this. I like to use this deck to kind of see where in the wake up journey you are. Number 10's, getting started. Okay, so waking up to your own advice. If you picked 2 this week, you're going to work with law is not justice, rules that are just not fair. It's like don't expect the week to be balanced or fair. That it's not going to be. But the universe does work in a balance. So whether this week feels fair or not, the universe will bring it into balance for you. If you picked 3, you're working on such a curious dream. 45, waking up, grounding, returning to health, home, coming home, returning to reality. This card is like the wake up card. Like you're almost to the end of your crazy journey. We do this over and over again, by the way. We wake up more and more to ourselves and remember. But this week, if you pick this one, you get to just relax, come back to reality. All right, let's do this. I'm going to start at the top of the list. Okay, so Stephanie R is at the top. Stephanie, now you guys remember, part of the rule here is it's best to just hang out with me for the whole half hour, because once we get 1, 2, 3s, we see a card 3 times, it starts to become the weekly message for us all. Okay, so this one says never jam today. Okay, so this is promises that never come to be, empty words, and not living in the now. Okay, so be careful of that, because if you're always doing the if and wins, then you're going to have a little bit of trouble with your ability to have anything come to fruition. I'll be happy when this happens, if this happens, that kind of thing. So be careful of doing that. Okay. Miranda Z. Things are getting curiouser and curiouser for you. So discovery, inquiry, okay, weirdness and curiosity. So you're going to just kind of let things be weird. Let things be awkward. Let things be absurd. Laugh if you can. But just be curious. Be like, yeah, this doesn't make sense. No, it doesn't. It doesn't make sense, you guys. We are in the middle of timeline jumping. We're doing all kinds of crazy things energetically. This is a crazy time, just is. So just get curious. All right, Denise, you're going to work on no need to fear. Okay. Remember how powerful you are during this time. You don't have to be afraid of what's happening. You actually are the gift to the world too. So you can trust that just because you're being asked to show up in a certain way by somebody and maybe being told that you're not doing it right, not everybody gets to have that authority over you. You get to decide what is right and wrong for you. So focusing on that this week. Okay. Focus on your power. Elizabeth R. Okay, you're working with mortality. So 42 is kind of towards the end. It's like life is brief and beautiful and yours to live is what this card says. So this week it's like focus on the fact that there is a beginning and an end to this reality. Okay. And to some degree that could be positive and some degree that could be scary. But this week you're just being asked to really take advantage of your life force energy the best that you can, because it is yours. And it's not infinite. Diane S. Messages for a rabbit. Okay, so this is basically just saying be of service to the animal world. So just paying attention to creatures that are calling your attention, to, signs from the sky, whatever it is. Just be of service to the fact that animals are part of our spirit messengers. And you want to pay attention to that this week, okay? It's kind of in the middle of the journey, or kind of towards the beginning. All right. Seriously wonderful. Wake up. That's your card. It's your moment. Okay. Right in the middle. Time to just snap into what is yours. Time to look with eyes wide open this week. Take some notes, your guides just said, because you're going to want to remember this time. Kimberly S. Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. Yes. Coming down the list. So Kimberly S., you are getting no need to fear. It's the second time we've seen this, you guys. So this is the deal. You want to keep an eye out for 3 times the charm, because that could be for all of us. Remember how powerful you are, Kimberly. This week is an important week for your power. Again, I hear from the guides, take notes. Okay. Kara and Tatiana. Kara, you are working with nature communication. Okay. So flower energies, fairy energies, getting outside, being in the playfulness, not letting yourself get wrapped up in the, rigidity of the world, but being out and where the wind blows and the grass blows and little fun things happen. Okay. Tatiana, you're going to work with keeping up. So 40 is getting a little bit, this is a little bit of effort that's going to be required on your part this week, making sure you pay attention to what time it is and that you want to show up on time what deadlines might be important for you this week. So just paying attention to that, not and knowing it's temporary. Okay. This putting in effort is just for a minute. It'll get better. Tanya, you are coming down the list here with nonsense. It's time to talk sense. Okay. So Tanya, this is when she just decides. You see the number here is 28. She just decides she's going to stop listening to everybody else's nonsense. And she says, stop it. You guys are being crazy. So this week might be a week where you just say, no, I'm not paying attention to the crazy. Cynthia, you're working with laws, not justice. So if you picked 2 at the beginning, it's coming back to you. Okay. This week's not going to feel very balanced or fair. But again, remember the universe will help you bring that balance in if you surrender. Okay. Just don't be real justice oriented this week. It's not going to work out. Heidi M, never jam today. Okay. Second time we've seen this, you guys keep a lookout. This is basically where the queen is like, oh, we don't eat jam yesterday. We only eat jam yesterday or tomorrow. We never eat jam today, which means you never eat jam, right? Because it's always today. So just be careful where you're chasing absurdity about time and things. Okay. Janelle and Donnie. Janelle, you're becoming braver. Okay. You're going to begin to have some resilience in your experiences. You're beginning to grow stronger. You're going to get some fresh perspectives, but this is just the beginning. Just start to trust yourself. Okay. Just start to wake up to the idea that maybe all along you've been this powerful. You just forgot. Donnie, you're going to do nature communication. Second time we've seen this. So maybe for all of us, you guys get outside, pay attention to things. We've been doing this practice where we get up and we go to sit and face the east, which is our front door. And we have this very large grasshopper that's been eating away at one of my plants. And he's just there. We're not going to disrupt him, but he's very happy eating this plant. That's what I'm talking about. Just get out and be kind of in the noticing. Notice, don't disrupt the nature. Just look and see what's happening. Okay. Kimberly and Juan Carlos. Kimberly, you're working with uncertainty. 39 though. You're getting towards the end of the wake up journey. Choose who you will become. So this is about you deciding this week. Okay. What do you want to be? What do you want to do? If you don't know, go find some activities to kind of wake you up a little bit to it and see what else you want to do. Juan Carlos, you're going to follow your own good advice. Okay. So if you picked 1 at the beginning, it's coming back. Trust yourself. You know what's best for you. Okay. So listen to yourself. If you've told people to take good care of themselves, you take good care of yourself. Okay. Tiff W. You're working with follow the white rabbit. Okay. So this is curiosity meets opportunity. So this is at the very beginning. She just kind of follows something that doesn't quite fit in and she gets curious about it and she doesn't stress. She doesn't even overthink it. She just does it. So just follow your white rabbits this week. Okay. Sister Janice, 3rd time's a charm, you guys. Laws, not justice. Rules that are not fair. I'm going to pull the book out because this is going to be important for all of us now because it's been the 3rd time. So you guys listen up. This card is for all of us. It says, let the jury consider their verdict, says the king said about the 20th time that day. No, said the queen. Sentences first, verdicts afterwards. All right. So believing that, it's somebody else has authority or that authority is going to make sense. That's kind of what this is saying. It's basically like life is just unfair and we're just going to want to accept it and let it just balance itself out, if that makes sense. All right. This deck, by the way, does do reverse. I'm just not reading in reverse today. Just because the guides told me not to. So I got to follow those rules. Okay. Nicole, here's yours. You got find the lesson. Okay. So discover the purpose of the situation. Trust that you're learning. Okay. So Nicole, this week is very much for you to take notes about what is the lesson and what are you missing? You might be missing something because you're just going. And it might be time to kind of stop and learn something, take some notes, the guides are really about taking notes right now. Taking notes, write it down. Get the lesson down. Taryn, you're also getting curiouser and curiouser. Okay. So this is the 2nd time we've seen this. We're working on discovery and letting things be absurd, letting things be unfair, letting things be what they are and just staying curious. Like, why is it like this? I don't know. All right, Eli, you're bringing the justice card back to us. So, fourth time, let me pull the book back open again. Let's see. So, this is for all of us, you guys. It says, as Alice so bravely does, you must speak up and say it's unfair and wrong. It's not right for you to be judged, but another person wishes to do so. Unless you speak up, there could be very strong consequences. When you are told to be quiet and to tolerate the judgments being made about you, this card urges you to speak up against injustice and object to what is taking place. Now, I hear you can speak up from the guides and do so not with it losing any power, okay? When you defend yourself in a defensive way, you basically are self-rejecting. You're saying, I don't trust that you're going to hear me. But when you assert, that's one of the topics, by the way, in Energy on Purpose this month, is learning to assert when we need to defend ourselves, okay? Kelly and Matthew. Kelly, don't drink the poison, okay? Do not do things that are bad for you. We all should listen to that advice. Like, okay. So this week, just be careful, especially if it's toxic poison about justice or about hearing things, gossip. I hear staying out of the gossip, staying out of the judgments, that kind of thing. Matthew, you're going to want to focus on using your time well. Okay. Make every moment count right now. It's important. I kind of get the sense that Tatiana's message is similar to this, is like make sure that you know what's due, when it's due, pay attention to deadlines this week, that kind of thing. Kalina, mortality for you. Okay, 42, she's towards the end of the wake up dream. And really what this card is encouraging you to do is to really pay attention to the fact that, yeah, we have a more immortal loops of consciousness, but in this lifetime, every lifetime in human form, it has a beginning and an end. And we want to use that as wisely as we can. Okay. Hannah, okay, fifth time, law is not justice. You guys, this week is definitely focused on this, okay, because this is coming again. Here goes. Your opinion of yourself is what's most valuable. You can state your case clearly with strength and power, and doing so will help you remember just how very strong you are, how very admired you are, and how worthwhile and decent you are. Okay, again, this is Energy on Purpose was talking about this. Assert. Defend is pushy. Passive is too far back. Assert is just, I am worthy and good. Okay? Burnout proof leaders, you are painting the roses red. So check out where you're covering up errors. Okay? Check where you maybe are doing, where covering up errors doesn't even make sense at this point, because you don't have, like, if you think about the roses, you can paint them red, but there's more that are going to grow. So just checking where you're maybe doing things over and over that might be considered a mistake this week. Okay. Lisa, you're going to be it's always tea time, eternal, endless moments. This is like repetition. This is like, we're all crazy here. Just get used to it. Just let yourself be laughing at the absurdity again. All right. Robin, Chris, and Austin. Robin, you are belonging in your own dream. Create your own life. Spend some time visioning in, drawing, painting, writing, whatever it makes sense to you, to really get yourself seeing, what do you want life to be about? Chris, you got some choices this week. Okay. You're feeling blocked and restrained. Those choices are good. Sometimes, though, we only see a few choices when there's actually a lot more choices. So be willing to see the expansive idea of choice. Okay. Austin, you're starting off at the beginning. Number 2, I wonder what will happen next. You're ready for adventure. You're ready for your perceptions to change. But this week is a pause week. Okay. Pause. Let yourself have a minute to just realize you're about to launch, but this week is not the launch week. This is the pause week. Okay. Christy, Kira, and Finn. Christy, you want to be a queen. Yeah, of course you do want to be a queen. Start with sovereignty, declaring your own freedom, passing the test of saying, I have my own back, that kind of thing. Yes, 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 you do. Okay. This week, be your queen. All right, Kira, you're going to manage to be glad. Okay, so 43, towards the end of the journey, you're going to create your own happiness regardless of the conditions. Okay, so whatever's going on, you're just going to let yourself be happy internally and do the things that make you happy. Finn, Such a curious dream. You're at the end where you're grounding and you're returning to reality. You're coming home. This week is a good week to recognize everything that's happened and that you're coming back to yourself. Okay. Melissa and Shannon. Melissa, you also got managed to be glad regardless of conditions. Okay. So this is a good card for you to say, I'm going to be glad with what's going on. Because I mean, what choice do we have anyways, right? And Melissa's doing a sound bath ceremony today, right before the new moon ritual. There's only one spot left. There's 12 people registered. All right, Shannon, you are painting the roses red this week, checking on where you're covering up errors. What are you doing that you really should maybe just stop and plant a different bush, or really stop and just acknowledge, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. This week is a good week to pause and check where you've been covering things up. Okay, Crystal, Genevieve, Isabel, and Crystal, you're keeping up. Immense effort right now, okay? Second time we've seen this card. It's just grind time. It's go time. Get it done. You got it. It'll be after you get on the other end, it'll be easy and you'll enjoy that you put in the effort. Genevieve, you want to be a queen like Christy, okay? So you declare your own freedom, feel into your own sovereignty, which means yourself, your independence, your free will. Okay, Isabel, you're going to want to work with number 2. I wonder what will happen next. Okay, you're ready for adventure, but it's not time yet. This week for you is a pause week because things are going to get real. It's going to get fast, but not this week. Okay, this week, just read your books. Chris, you're going to shine bright like a candle. 36, you'll make it through this, is what this says. Okay. Again, immense effort. It's just time to push. And once you push and then get to the other side, you're going to be glad. All right, Sam. Sam, third time's the charm for this one. Never jam today, you guys. Promises that never come to be. Empty words, not living in the now. So we got the justice card and now we've got this card coming up. So there's something here that's like, if you want to wait for things to get fair, you're going to be waiting a really long time. Okay, what this says is words are plentiful, but deeds are few. Thinking that of the past and future are better than the present. Being attracted by promises of good times and abundance that may never be kept. Boasting of plenty, never enjoying it in the moment. Manipulation and withholding. Demand results of the present. Work through satisfying your desires yourself. Don't buy what they're selling. Okay, so you guys, with those 2 cards, it's basically saying stop chasing a dream, stop waiting for things to be better. Be better today. Okay. All right. Let's see. Ethereal Moonlight. Welcome back. Happy Sunday. Here's your card. Believe. Strange encounters. Okay. So this is basically saying that, yeah, things are going to be a little bit like, because we're in such an absurd time, it's like we don't really understand what's real and what isn't. And there's a lot of stuff that doesn't look real. I mean, it just doesn't, because it's all an illusion and it's trying to reveal itself as that. And so just kind of give yourself a moment to just say, this is the moment in the story where she sees a unicorn and she's like, I didn't know that the unicorn was real. And the unicorn's basically like, I didn't know you were real. And let's agree to believe in each other kind of thing. So, believe in the unbelievable right now. It's the best thing we can do. All right, Hillary, Griffin, Birdie, Hillary, never jam today. Fourth time we've seen this one. Okay. So empty words, don't do the if and whens. Don't wait to be happy. Don't promise to be happy later. It's really about getting really solid with your now and know that it doesn't feel fair. And maybe it's because you have to just say what you need early and often. And now would be a good time to speak up and say what you need. Griffin, for you, you're working with clock time, pressure, and in a rush. Again, I feel like this is a lot of you guys are getting these cards of like, follow the deadlines, pay attention to what's due, don't miss something because it'll cost you later, that kind of thing. So focus on your deadlines this week, okay? Birdie, you're going to want to focus on uncertainty, okay? Choose who you will become. So everything being undefined is actually beautiful when we have a moment to decide who we want to be. And maybe we're this today and we're that tomorrow. You don't have to make yesterday's self wrong in order to be today's self that's different than yesterday's self, okay? All right. Well, I'm at the bottom of the list. So if you're still watching, and thank you for watching, we're going to throw a card for Matt and we're going to throw a card for my mother because she asked me to throw a card for her. And then if you're still watching and you haven't put me, please, there's still space in the universe for you to get your card. So let's see if Matt and my mother bring a 3 times the charm up. Okay. So Matt, immense effort keeping up. You are bringing 3 times the charm, you guys. Okay. So I'm going to read a little bit of this because this is for all of us. It typically is when we throw a card for him. Okay, I'm going to read you the little line from the story. Ready? Well, in our country, said Alice, still painting a little, you generally get to somewhere else if you ran very fast for a long time, as we've been doing. A slow sort of country, said the Queen. Now here, you see, it takes all the running you can do to keep the world in the same place. If you want to get somewhere else, you must run at least twice as fast as that. Okay, so this says a time of very hard work, getting ahead, determination, resolve to push through to get to the next stage. The urge to improve the status and be rewarded, moving quickly with strength and stamina, great deal to process and integrate. Okay, I feel that right now, you guys. That's totally true. Okay, let's see what cards for my mother. We'll see if it's 3 times the charm. Nope, changed in the night. Okay, you've changed quickly. Lots of things have happened quickly. That is certainly true for her. All right. So no more me pleases right now, but we do have a few minutes left. So I'm going to just refresh us. I'm going to bring it all together. What we've been getting told by the cards. Just have to find the card that I'm looking for here. So if you guys, this is a really big day for change and completion. So let yourself have a moment, write things you don't want, tear them up, put them in water, distribute them out into the ether, whatever you want to do there. But new moons are always good times for that. Okay, here we go. We got laws, not justice, combined with keeping up in an immense effort and never jam today. Okay, so what I feel like they're saying to us about this week is that it's go time, it's push time. It's like, yep, it doesn't feel fair that we have to push. It doesn't feel fair that we have to go so fast, but it's because we have been chasing illusions, status, never jam today card. Basically, we've been chasing things that are maybe never going to come the way we think. And so if we could just stop and celebrate what has been accomplished, what's going on right now, all the things that are giving us an opportunity to balance the scales inside of ourselves, and to just check in with what are your needs, you guys. If you don't know what you need, how is the universe going to know? How are your loved ones going to know? If you don't know who you want to become, how are you going to figure it out? Take some time to really notice that it's worth it to put the effort in for yourself, okay? And you know why you're putting the effort in. Maybe people around you don't get it. Maybe they're just saying to you, that's a lot of work and I don't know why you're doing it that way. And it's like, maybe you do know that it's almost over. The work is almost done too. See the little clock? Remember the deadlines I was talking about? Maybe it's time to be as present as you can with your life, with yourself. What can you celebrate today? What can you celebrate that has been brought to justice? What can you celebrate has been beginning to open up to a balance? Because the universe wants us to celebrate when it shows up for us. And it's been showing up for us, whether we know it or not. So you're welcome. Lots of nice thank yous, you guys. We have about a minute left. I just want you to be aware that because of everything being really fast paced and moving, it also requires time to integrate, which means rest, meditation, sleep, journaling, whatever that means for you. I am finding that the more space I have, the more space I get, which is kind of interesting in this compressed time. So take it if you can. Okay. All right. So here's the deal. I may not put this up on the calendar anymore because it seems to dysfunction like every other time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just come live on next Sunday at the same time. So if you guys want to chase me on the internet, which I'm grateful when you do, hit subscribe and the bell button on the channel, the YouTube channel, and it will alert you when I'm about to go live. But this is the same time most of the most of the weeks I do this, and we'll be looking into October's energy next time we talk. Okay. All right, everybody, go be amazing.